So, my dear brothers and sisters, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you again to this session, and I want to say thank you very much. And for all fathers outside there, I want to wish you Father's Day. I hope your Father's Day was very, very okay. Some of us celebrated it, and it's also wonderful to know that you have family members who are appreciating you, and that is very, very wonderful. Now, today, I was actually privileged to share with you one of the greatest and profound insight ever, and that is concerning the World Food Program and the church leaders that actually had an opportunity to meet the Liberian officials, and their plan was how to reduce actually food insecurity in the country of Liberia. And as usual, my dear brothers and sisters, you know, the church has been playing a very vital role in ensuring that nations are stabilized in matters to do with their temporal welfare. And this is one of the greatest events of how the church is bringing two parties together. It's bringing actually the Liberian government and also the World Food Program organizations to come, you know, and actually come up with ways on how they can reduce food insecurity in this country. And for all of you who know where Liberia is, actually Liberia is in Africa, and it is actually one of the countries that was never colonized. And when you read the history, you realize that it was a settlement for those brothers and sisters who were actually repatriated back from slavery, and they were actually taken back to Liberia during those days because they were given an opportunity after the abolition of slavery, and they were given an opportunity to return back, and they had to return to Liberia because the Liberia was the land chosen for them to return. So they came with different cultures from the West, and that's why you find that even the way they talk, the way they conduct themselves, at times they are somehow a little bit different with the indigenous Africans, and because Africans look at them as like westernized people, because their ancestors were once, you know, they were taken to the Western hemisphere, and then during that liberation they were given an opportunity to return back, and they were given that land, and which is the land of Liberia, for them to settle. So this is a country that has actually experienced a lot of turmoils in terms of civil wars, political instability, and most people really suffered. And the most people that do suffer after this wickedness of civil wars and political incitement are women and children, because Liberia lost a lot of children and a lot of women because of civil war. And the country has not actually, healed from that. They have a lot of things actually to do. And this Madam, the former president called Madam Johnson, really tried a lot. And a lot of things still need to be done. And I like what the church actually is doing there in ensuring that that country is fully stabilized and the saints are well taken care of. And without further ado, let me just share with you how exactly things really went during this wonderful encounter. Please welcome.
How you doing,
Thank you for joining us today.
What an honor.
In a notable gathering,
It's going to be such an exciting week.
leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and the World Food Program are together,
So good being with you.
along with Liberian government leaders,
This is an honor. Thank you. Welcome to Liberia.
Honor for us to be with you.
in the capital city of Monrovia on January 15, 2024.
The need is great. Liberia, let's not mince words, is not a wealthy country. What we have in Liberia mainly is food and nutrition insecurity, where people are not getting enough of the right kinds of food.
Africa West Area President Elder S. Gifford Nielsen, along with WFP USA President and CEO Baron Seeger, and a delegation are representing the two organizations.
We're here to help. I mean, we're your partners.
In the Church of Jesus Christ, we develop inspired relationships with like-minded people who have a track record to do things the right way. But it is developing a strong relationship with those people that can help lift Heavenly Father's sons and daughters all over the world.
In the meeting, the leaders discussed the joint efforts to help Liberians in great need with food insecurity.
Knowing that, we've embarked on programs of expanded food production. And again, the World Food Program and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints have been instrumental in joining us to boost food production.
For nearly 10 years, the church has collaborated with the World Food Program on projects to relieve hunger and build food security in many parts of the world. Together, they are embarking on a week-long field trip across parts of this West African nation to see how this strong collaboration, along with working with the government, is helping Liberians help fellow Liberians become more self-reliant.
Partnerships such as what we enjoy with WFP and now with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, these are critical. The meeting with Elder Nielsen's very, very knowledgeable and very compassionate, and we need that.
We believe every child should have the opportunity to reach their full potential. And
Well, I love the collaborative effort
Yes.
of the groups and organizations coming together to do good things, to lift people. It is a tremendous benefit, not only to us to have this kind of a relationship and this kind of a friendship, but also to help all of Heavenly Father's sons and daughters in this area.
My brothers and sisters, as you can see, that is what exactly the church is doing all over the world, and especially in Liberia, as you can see what the church is doing in Liberia. And the church is very much concerned about the welfare of the people. And at times, so to speak, at times I always feel very sad. Like when people entrust their leaders with certain responsibilities, especially the political leaders with certain responsibilities, hoping that they will do things that will alleviate the lives of their people, and only to realize that they actually don't keep the promise. You know, when they are campaigning, they actually promise a lot of things, but the moment they are step into leadership, they don't actually deliver, and they don't actually, deliver what they had promised people. And that is sad, hypocrisy. That is very sad. And you can see countries like Liberia, when you read their history, these are countries that are very rich, very rich in resources, in terms of resources. But at the same time also, these are countries that are very poor. You know, they're very poor, even though they are rich in resources. Liberia is one of the countries that it's actually the largest producer of rubber. Okay, the largest producer of rubber. Anything that you can think of in terms of rubber, you know, your vehicles move with their tires. Those tires are made of rubber. Anything you can think of that is made of rubber, it comes from Liberia. Comes from Liberia. But at times you wonder, you look at the condition and the life of people, it is very saddening, very, very saddening. And that's why sometimes when I pray, I always just tell the Lord, don't stay long, just like David. Don't stay long. You know, please come quickly and save us from all these problems. You know, at times it's very sad. I had an opportunity of serving a mission in my own area, that is a Kenya Nairobi mission. And Kenya Nairobi mission then, it was actually, it consisted of about 3 countries. Yeah, about 3 countries there. There was Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Ethiopia. About 4 countries. You know, but right now, within the Kenya Nairobi mission, we have a lot of missions now coming up. Even within Nairobi now, we have 2 missions. There is the West and the East mission. You know, But at times you'll visit different areas of these countries and you look at the condition at which our saints are living. It's very sad. Very, very sad. Okay, I don't say I'm well off. I don't say I'm well off, but there are people who are living a condition which is more worse than I do, you know, worse than I do. At least I can thank God I have shelter. I have shelter. I can thank God at least God is providing for us a meal, even if it is once a day or twice a day. At least it's a meal. We have something to feed our stomachs on. But there are people who hardly even get a meal and they don't know where they will get a meal. They don't know where they will get a meal. But the sad thing is that you'll find their leaders, they keep on siphoning money, stealing money and corruption, and they invest outside and they do not even provide any assistance to their people. This is very sad. And I think the Lord has just to come quickly. He has just to come quickly. Africans, what we go through, it is very saddening. Very, very saddening. And at times you'll find young men, after they've gone to school, they've attained what they can attain, like a degree. They have degrees and all that. And all to see around, there are no jobs. They cannot get any job. So what do? They will choose rather to go through and die in the Mediterranean Sea, trying to reach Europe just to get an opportunity for them to be able to fend for their families. They risk so much, and it's not because they want to do that. It is because of what life is all about. You sit and you look at your family and you look at there is no hope. And maybe your parents took you to school and they struggle, even they sold this land to take you to school, thinking that when you get that degree, you will get a job so that you can be able to take care of your siblings. But after you've graduated, then that is when you realize there is no way out. There is no way out. And your parents are there looking at you and they have all these hopes for you, of you. And then you look at, you can't even secure a job. So what happens? A lot of our young men and young women die in the Mediterranean Sea. In the Mediterranean Sea, trying actually to secure, reach Europe. Try actually to go to Italy, France, so that they can actually get something small, even if it is a job, so that they can send money home to fend for their families. My dear brothers and sisters, it is very serious on the ground. Very, very serious on the ground. If God has helped you, that you have a place to sleep, you have food to eat, and at least you can secure a job, just thank God. Because there are some countries, those things are hard to come by. Very hard to come by. Very, very hard to come by. And that's why when you look at the churches doing a lot to ensure that they help people. They even bring governments in so that the governments can see the importance of this, that how people can really be helped. But it is sad to say, it's sad to speak that some of the governments will end up not actually, help their people. We've had scenarios where some governments have even wanted the church to give them money. And when they're given those monies, they don't even help their people. And that's why I think the church has taken the initiative to run things on its own, so that to ensure the people on the ground actually get the necessary help they so require. Otherwise, thank you very much, my dear brothers and sisters. I want to say I am so happy that you are supporting and you're viewing these videos every now and then. And I like reading your comments. They're actually edifying me. And I know that the Lord is always there with us. And we are actually pushing on so that we're sure these glad tidings reach everybody until the purposes of God shall be accomplished. And the great Jehovah shall say the work is done. Thank you and see you next time.